Welcome to DAX Machina. Join us as we explore the mysteries of this world. Cryptids, monsters, macabre tales, and horror stories abound. Could they be true? Are monsters real?
Good evening, folks. Thank you for joining us for another edition of DAX Machina. Joining me tonight is my co-host and partner in crime, Anthony Pitbull Canatella, and the man himself is in the house, Jesus Payan from Breaking Bigfoot. How you doing, my brother?
What's cracking, guys?
Yeah, we gotta get that button.
Yeah, we got to get a sound mixer. Dude, I'm so happy you are joining us tonight. Those pictures you sent me, dude, those are just freaking amazing. I can't wait to start going over these tonight.
I'm excited too.
Your research area is freaking awesome.
I've never sent anybody that many of those pictures. Like, besides what people have seen in some videos that I've done, I've never actually shared anybody that has any type of public, resource. Such a podcast to share, so it's an honor for me too, man, for you guys to check them out and see what y'all think.
Oh yeah, we're thrilled to have you.
And badass.
These aren't like the pictures that you're going to see all over Facebook anymore, where it's a blurry bush with a couple of red circles. You're going to see some stuff in these pictures tonight, and it's not going to be, well, if I squint my eyes and close one and stand on one foot and tilt my head sideways, I might see something that looks like eyes in a tree. This is not pareidolia, folks. These are legit pics, and you're really gonna be amazed at some of these pictures tonight. And as we show each picture, where Jesus is going to tell us about not only the area where it was filmed, but the situation that he was in when he got these pictures. Some of these pictures are going to really blow your mind. And again, these are not the all over Facebook pictures of blurry bushes with somebody claiming they see something. These are pictures you are legit, straight up going to see stuff in. So let's jump right in. I'm going to post one before the zoom in and let you start talking about that one. This one's one I really found interesting, because once we blow it up, people are really going to know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Where's this taken?
In New Mexico, near Madrid.
Near Madrid?
Yeah.
Well, when you blow this up, you start getting in a little closer. Oh, wait, that's a different one. Well, this is one. This is the one. So you start seeing something like that.
Sitting down.
Yeah. And this is a side-by-side comparison with a mountain gorilla. Notice the similarities.
Pretty much the only difference is the legs.
Yeah.
The length.
Well, mountain gorillas aren't really made for bipedal locomotion. They can walk on two legs, but they generally only do it for short distances.
Right. So where this photo came from was J.C. Johnson, the late J.C. Johnson, and I like to enhance photos, study photos. If there's nothing there, there's nothing to enhance. You know what I mean? The programs I use, they don't know what the picture is of. So pretty much what I do is I'll increase contrast, maybe use HDRscape, increase saturation. Then on a different move, I'll do sharpening, and use things like that. Try different filters, but I never try to actually manipulate the image. I don't draw it. I either lighten it up, darken it, and make colors better, and make the actual what's there sharper. Nothing else. I'm not trying to do anything besides what's there. If it's nothing there, then nothing's going to show. Everything gets sharpened together. I do isolate image things, because where a lot of people mess up when they're enhancing what they're trying to see. If you see the object in the image, isolate the image. All the other enhancements, the colors and pigment, you don't want to do what's around it, because you'll lose what you're looking at, because everything's changing. You know what I mean?
Right. So, exactly.
That's the thing I do, and a lot of people have issues with me doing such enhancements, because they're like, well, then it's not the original photo. It's like, yeah, I know that. You know, it's like I'm not arguing that. You know, I'm just trying to present you what I think is something specific. Like this guy right here in this image you're looking at, you got the black and white version, and the black and white version, which has also been sharpened. You can see shine on the hand, on the pectoral muscle. You can see an actual area of the face that doesn't have hair. You know, what looks like the way it's sitting. You'll see. I don't know if you have the picture, but there's an example of a man sitting next to, you know, comparing to where he's sitting, the way I think it's sitting. It looks like the foot is showing a mid-tarsal break in relaxed form. You know. The other amazing thing about this photo is that the area that this place is in, those are juniper trees. And the average juniper tree is going to be 10 to 12 feet at the most, give or take, you know, 6 inches or so.
Yeah.
If that's the case, look at the individual again, look at the trees around it, get an average of between 10 and 12 feet, and they don't even come up to its shoulder, and it's sitting down. So how tall would it be? If the shortest tree there is, let's even be modest and just say 8 feet.
It's still a big fella.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one of the things like the last time you were on the show, you told a story about a guy that didn't really believe anything was out in your research area, and you guys went camping. I wonder if you would give us a little bit of that story again for those that may not have heard it before we go on to those pictures. Which
one? Somebody was calling me when you said that.
Oh, the camping story when it was like pressing on the tent.
Oh, okay.
You kind of refresh that for everybody and for people that might not have heard it.
I was doing a tattoo and on a friend, and he had a friend hanging out watching me do the tattoo, right? And we're talking about Bigfoot. And his friend was like, "Oh man, you crazy. Ain't no Bigfoot. I go and collect antler sheds all over those mountains, and I've never seen anything like that, you know?" And I was like, "Well, I'm sorry, buddy, but it's true." He denied it even more. And then I was like, "Hey, how about I take you out there for an afternoon, show you some really interesting things with the trees and whatnot. And if you can explain to me how a human being could have done it, okay. But if you can't, benefit of the doubt, Bigfoot might be real, right?" So he was like, "You're on," you know. So we go out there eventually together, and I show him a bunch of structures and giant X's and just stuff that couldn't be done by humans, you know, without the excavators and destroying the forest. And then I started doing knocking. We're getting responses, and after the responses, he just was like, "I want to stay out here tonight. Let's camp. I got my tent." And I was like, "Sure, dude. You understand that these aren't chimpanzees, these ain't gorillas. These are really, really big individuals that can hurt us and kill us. No problem, you know." And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I called out. It's on my channel when I did it. It looks silly, like I'm being silly, but I was being serious, and I yelled out, and I was like, "Hey, you guys, you know, come on down. Just want to say what's up." You know, because I knew that we already had engaged them, so they were listening. And so we stayed that night, and in the middle of the night, they finally walked up to the tent, and stuck their arm under the tent, knocked over the other guy, put their hand on the tent, and then peeled off the top of the tent eventually, and was looking down at the guy that I was with, kind of freaking him out, making faces at him, and I was videotaping the incident, and later I took screenshots of the video, which is now no longer with us, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, this picture where you can see it pushing on, when you look at where that thumb placement is, that's very primate. That's not human-like at all.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was noticing too when I was you know, checking it out and seeing what was going on. And the reason why my hand, I'm able to size it with that one is because I was able to take a picture at the exact same distance, but with my hand on the tent where the zipper is, because you can see across that green palm, there's the line from the zipper. That's not a natural palm line. That's the zipper.
Yeah, right.
So I was able to put my hand in the exact same spot, take a picture, and I was able to make the comparison in size, you know? So
Right.
yeah, that's a really big hand. I'm a big dude. You know, I can palm a basketball. I'm over 6 feet tall, over 300 pounds. I'm a big dude. That makes my hand look like a little tiny baby one.
Yeah,
You know,
like a toddler.
yeah.
Yeah. So then, go ahead. You were saying?
Oh, I just said makes your hand look like a toddler.
Oh yeah, right. So then, the kid that I was with, I just call him a kid because I was 20 years older than him, you know, and he was kind of freaking out. He had exactly what you're looking at right there is what he was seeing. From my angle, I just saw bright light and the reflection off of the netting for the top of the tent, you know, the vent hood, where they peeled back they're looking down at him, freaking them out. They were being quiet though. They weren't growling, making noises. The one on the left looked like he's grinning. The one on the right was going, ooh, ah,
Yeah. You can see his mouth. You can see it. There's better pictures that DA has he's going to put up that are really blow everybody's mind. Look at them.
And the kid, he just keeps on repeating over and over. I can see his nose. I can see its nose. I can see its nose. And he was just like, it was just a climbing to a crescendo of I'm about to have a heart attack and lose my crap, you know.
Right.
I can't say that I would blame him. If I saw that looking in my tent, I would be looking for a quick escape route.
Yeah, well, look at that. Look at that right through the screen, man. I mean, you can see that it's looking right through the tent of the screen of the tent. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would have definitely, that would have just shook me to my core right there. That close.
You know, and I know that they're there. I know it's them, but at my angle, I couldn't see the direct facial expressions they were making. I just knew they were messing with the tent and looking in because he was like, you know. And when he got to a point where he was too upset, I asked him to stop it. You know, just like when they put their arm under the tent, I was all, no, bad Bigfoot, and they pulled out the arm. Later, I was all, you guys are freaking him out. That's enough. You know what I mean? And I told him to move over so he couldn't look up no more. And I talked to them. Well, I was talking. They weren't talking back. But they stayed there at the tent the whole damn time. And I talked to them for a couple hours, you know? Right. And that guy was just freaked out. He was like, oh, my God, you're talking to Bigfoots? You know, he's like, what the hell, you know? And I'm like, it's an experiment. If they understand what I'm saying, then they know what I'm saying. And we can continue this on another day, you know, or another level. But, that morning when they finally walked away at about, I would give it 4-ish in the morning.
Right.
Light came. You know, I had offered them some oatmeal cookies. They didn't touch them. I opened the tent just a little bit on the door. I was like, here you guys go if you want some cookies, you know.
And if that thing would have grabbed it out of your hand, I think you would have shit yourself right there.
I don't know.
I have a question for you there out of the audience. They said, when did this happen? And
2017.
Where was it? When?
2017, Cloudcroft, New Mexico.
Yeah.
It was right after I got that video of excuse me, of the Sasquatch walking across that field in on the Navajo Res in northern New Mexico.
And that's
a complete opposite. Because where I'm at is southern New Mexico. I'm about an hour and a half away from El Paso, Texas, 2 hours from Mexico. You know,
you're down near the boot heel of New Mexico.
So it's funny how that the similarities of what I seen looks almost identical to what you captured on film in New Mexico, and I seen mine in Florida. It looks more Neanderthal, Native American, so more human.
What about this picture?
Well, that picture is in the same area, same mountains as the previous ones we just saw. Whatever this one is, the thing is, I've seen and I've gotten pictures of giant Sasquatch and really, really tiny ones. And I don't mean just like infants. I mean like dwarf.
Like
proportional, but little, you know? This would be from the picture that I took. This is I zoomed in on the image to so you can see it this well. But it was a tiny one. It couldn't have been, in my own personal opinion, doesn't mean this, law. But I would say at most that it was what we were looking at is maybe 5 inches tall. That's
Damn.
in the size of the head, not the
Damn.
total size of the creature.
Oh,
But
that
it
was
was
a
really
really
small.
small one. But if you look
Yeah.
at the facial dimensions from the nose to the lip, that's very similar to the Patterson Gimlin
Yeah.
footage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a big gap. Big gap.
just little. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Oh,
when
there's
I
a
hear
lot
people
of
say
Native
they got-
American lore on little people.
yeah,
Some call them the Pukwudgies. I can't remember the Cherokee name for them. But in most lore, the little ones are the dangerous ones that lure people out into the woods.
they're mean little boogers. You know what I mean? And we're told not to mess with them or make deals with them, or you know what I mean. We respect their areas and
Right.
we don't piss them off because they're mean little bastards.
What about this image?
Okay, that image. That is in Canada, British Columbia.
Oh yeah.
My good friend Randy Bryson, I don't know however you would like to pronounce that last name, Bryson. Great dude, man. Great dude. He has such great footage, evidence of these beings. The audio he has is awesome. Then he has wood, structures with trees upside down, stabbed into other trees. That what I mean. I mean, just ridiculousness. It's just beautiful though. And this one is of a Bigfoot that was looking over a tree stump at him. And I told him, I go, if you don't mind, I'd like to enhance it and bring out some features that you can't see,
Right.
without doing what I do. And this was the outcome. It looks like me if I didn't shave my head or my face for a month.
Right.
We got the same damn lips and nose, and I talked to Randy and I, just the other day, and he agreed. We're gonna put together a documentary together of all his evidence. I'm gonna compile it and put together a really cool video.
If you need any help with that, I'd be more than happy to.
Sounds like a plan, But yeah, to me that's an amazing thing because it's there. There it is, It's not really in a hidden situation.
It just astounds me how much activity you've been able to capture. And
Yeah.
again, I'm not going to call anybody out, but these aren't your garden variety pictures that people are throwing all over Facebook. That's a blurry bush with at best pareidolia. These are legit images with things you can plainly see with your eyes. These don't need to have red circles around them or any kind of crazy close one eye, tilt your head sideways and stand on one foot. These are legit images like this one.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I like this one and the enhancement.
That's the one that's wearing that necklace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. The one that's wearing the chest piece. Yeah, that's like that stands out. I mean,
Yeah, it does.
And if you see the original picture, you could see it plain as day. If you look over to the left of the picture, it's in between the end of the picture and in between a tree. You can't miss it.
I don't know that I've got all of them loaded. Is this it?
That's another one.
Okay, well, I apparently I don't have all the pictures loaded.
It's all good.
But we will keep talking. Well, I've still got plenty more for us to talk about. I mean,
I got them.
We're just getting started. You think you've seen some clear stuff yet? I've been saving the best for last.
Yeah.
And we're not even all the way through it, so we've got a ways to go. If you guys are enjoying this show tonight, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Share the video with people that enjoy this kind of content, and go on over to Breaking Bigfoot on YouTube and make sure you like, subscribe, and share that channel as well, because he has got some amazing videos, and you will definitely be glad you checked it out.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I was being texted, and you know what's going on with everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Pat Murphy said, "What is pareidolia?" Pareidolia is basically the human brain is hardwired to try to find patterns among chaos. And if I could go back in my bushes right now in the back of my yard where I know there's nothing there and take a picture and zoom in on it, and your brain will start looking for patterns in that. And a lot of pictures that people present as evidence are just simply that. You find a shape, you might find a couple of spots that correspond almost close enough to be eyes, and your brain starts filling in the rest. Unfortunately, there's a lot of that going around. Hey, just got our first super chat for the night from Lene. Thank you very much. I really enjoy these live videos. All the folks who join in. Thank you very much, Lene. You are awesome.
Awesome. That'll be put to good use for equipment.
Definitely
talking about. So we need camera. We're going to be buying a camera, hopefully. If anybody would like to help out, donate, more than appreciated. We'll show you what we're buying to do documentary, get rolling with that here in Florida. And DA is going to be down here soon helping me. And we'll get it out to you. We're going to try to get some good content. Hopefully we'll get over to Jesus and head over there to him. Knock on wood and get everything rolling. But if anybody would like to help out, more than appreciated, and it would be very, very appreciative. Thank you guys, really.
Trying to catch up with the pictures. There's a good comment from Flat Rock. It says, "Wow, I thought it was crazy seeing one with a vine necklace that had a small elongated skull attached. It was probably if it was an elongated skull, it was likely a bird skull or maybe a dog skull."
Yeah, that was a tribal chess piece. That's what he was showing me the day he was sending them over to me. I mean, me and Jesus were on the phone, I don't know, like 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
And he was just sending me pictures. He's like, look at this one, look at that one. I actually found one or two of his pictures that he didn't see.
Yeah, that's very similar to the style of like some of the Navajo necklaces.
Yep.
That looks very Native American.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy, if you see the original picture and I didn't point it out, you ain't going to see it. I'll guarantee you that. Yeah. I didn't see it when I was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Masters of camouflage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And these pictures are not, put together. Jesus did not do any hoaxing and pokesing with it, people. Nothing like that. These are original pictures that he blew up, that he took. Probably, one of the best evidence I've seen so far, that's out there.
Someone asked where that picture was taken where it was wearing the necklace.
I'm sorry.
Somebody asked where the picture with the necklace was taken.
That is in the Sacramento Mountains, also known as the Lincoln County Forest in New Mexico.
Okay.
I've been there. It's been a long time, but
Apache the Apache is the local tribe.
Is that the Jicarilla?
Mescalero Apache.
Mescalero. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a hot minute since I've been down that way. Mm-hmm. I've got one more set on here that I want to save. We'll talk about those here shortly, but I just, I can't reiterate enough, folks. These are some amazing stuff, amazing research coming out that Jesus has been doing down there. We're looking at hopefully getting a documentary shot down there. I know Jesus has got plans on it, and I would definitely want to be a part of that. This is just amazing stuff that he's getting in this research area. And again, I can't stress this enough. These aren't, squint one eye and take a guess at what might be there. These are legit pictures where you can see stuff. You can legit see it. I might be making a few folks mad tonight, but I'm tired of looking at pictures of nothing and being told it's Bigfoot.
Right. Yeah. Or Dogman.
Yeah, or Dogman. What about this picture?
Okay, that photo is actually a still from a video. There was a TV show called Fact or Faked, okay? Mm-hmm. And this is actually a short clip from, I believe, in Georgia. Mm-hmm. And it was sent to their station, and they were challenged to see if it was fact or faked. Well, their conclusion from this video, I think it's called Georgia Backyard video. I'll look it up shortly. But yeah, they decided it was a life-size puppet that somehow they built at the top of the trees, a whole system for puppetry to make this individual work in the video.
Right.
which made no sense to me after I analyzed it. I could, tell the ratio. The ratio matches the Thinker Thunker. He shows it a lot, that ratio of the arm length versus leg length on his videos, and it matches that. It's just a different shape. From what it looks like to me, it looks like an elderly person. Regardless if it's a Bigfoot or a human, the stance it has, the hump on its back, the super thin, atrophied legs, the very lack of a booty, and the back hair. And then you've got the forearms that are so long with the hands and how long they go compared to the legs. It would be impossible to hide your hands in it. So here's another screenshot I took. Just like Patty, Freeman footage, all these other videos, the Bigfoots always peek at you real quick. They turn their head, look at you real quick because that's all they need.
Right.
This one did the same thing, and I enhanced his face to see, what we're looking at. And if you're gonna hoax something and make something a puppet, why would you, or how would you even know that's something that a Bigfoot does in that situation? And to me, look
at the face. Look at the face. I mean,
yeah. You can see the ear, eyebrow ridge, nose, mouth, everything. So I say it's not fake. That show said it's fake. It's a puppet. I don't think it is. I think it's the first image we have or video actually of an elderly Bigfoot.
Got another super chat from William Bedard. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you,
awesome,
William.
my man.
Good looking now.
Yeah, the ones are. I'm going to send the rest over to DA. I didn't send them all. I'll send the rest over right now through his messenger, and he can post them. But you sent me a ton of stuff. Yeah. I mean,
Smedley DeWright says slender Bigfoot. Maybe it's sick or old.
Yeah,
I tend to lean toward what you were saying. The old man butt. He's looking old. Let's jump to another one.
Got some moves,
This one.
Yeah,
okay, that one right there. If you look, excuse me, in the top right corner, one of those logs are laying down on the far back. Look at the black spot. Oh, that's a different one.
Sorry, I'm trying to post up the ones that I've got.
Right. Yeah. There's a close up of that. You somewhere in there.
I think Anthony's sending it to me.
Okay, but yeah, it's back there. If you look at the black dot on the tree in the far right corner that's laying down, you zoom in, you'll see a face. It was looking at me. I could see it, and that's why I took the picture the way I did, doing a selfie.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it over. I got them. You got so many of them here. I'm trying to go through them right now. Scroll.
And again, it's the same area as all these other ones.
There it is. I think DA showed this one already. But let's see if he did or not. I might have put this up.
Okay.
I sent it over, DA.
Sorry, my messenger is blowing up right now. All right, let me get that one loaded. There we go.
There it is. Now.
That one is pretty freaking clear.
Right? I see cone head, eyes, nose, mouth, everything.
Right.
Hang on, I'm trying to get another one that Anthony sent me. Oh, that's the other part of the one with the necklace. Awesome.
Yes, that's the original one. That's the original one.
Yeah.
There we go. You can see it right there at the edge on the left side.
Yeah.
See the necklace? You see it hanging around its neck? I'm going to send you the other ones of the brown one that looks like it has ears, pointed ears, but me and Jesus believe it's hair.
Yeah. I think they fashioned the hair because I've seen pictures of the Sasquatch with ponytails and all kinds of different stuff. So why wouldn't they have mohawks or point their hair up like ears and stuff?
Wait, it makes perfect sense because there's so many reports of them braiding like horses' manes and things like that.
Yes.
They refer to it as a witch's braid. But but it's not a big leap of the imagination to think if they can braid a horse's mane, they can braid their own.
Yeah, like that picture right there. You have I wear size 16 shoes. So if
that is a rather large footprint.
that is a really large footprint. And make me look like a little baby. I'm only, my shoe compared to Shaq's shoe, I'm about maybe 3 inches smaller. So that's a bare foot. You know what I mean?
That is a large foot.
Yeah.
This one I showed kind of briefly earlier. I'll get into this one now, because I've got Anthony just sent me a couple others that go with it, and I've got them in the wings. But you want to tell us a little bit about this one?
Well, once again, I had taken a couple out hunting in this area out here in these mountains in New Mexico, and I had wanted to show them a structure I had recently found, and so I was taking pictures of the structure, And then when I got home and I was going through the photos, I noticed that picture in the background. It looked interesting, and so I zoomed in, straightened the image out, and what looks like a larger auburn Bigfoot in front of a very small darker Bigfoot. That's what it looks like to me, So I can't verify that's what it is, but I see a face, everything, eyes, and the hair changes around the face, and I could just be wrong, and it could be just a stump, but I don't.
It doesn't look like a stump to me.
Yeah.
Okay. What's this one?
That one, again, is just a little bit down the way in that same area. Just down the way a little bit of one of the older trees that haven't been cut down yet. The very top of it's missing from a lightning strike. But, if you look on the left side, these two arrows are from the image you just saw on the left side of the tree, which to me looks like...
I'll go back to that.
Then flip back. The same arrows on the left. It looks like there's one sitting down and one standing up on that big branch. And on the right,
you've kind of highlighted them.
Exactly, isolated them. Increased the contrast and all that stuff, so I could separate them, and just pretty much erased them and left the filter color of everything else, so you could see them, well.
Yeah.
And what I think we're seeing,
Well, our chat is literally exploding tonight.
Cool. Good deal.
Look at this one. This one of my favorites here. I love that.
That's awesome.
Let me roll back and try to catch up, because I am way behind I've been concentrating on the pictures and not watching the chat.
I'm watching it. I got it right here. But
okay.
Yeah, they're going. Yeah, it's going crazy. It's going nuts. I mean, even my
have you ever seen another Bigfoot wearing a necklace or beads? Or was it just that one?
Not myself, but what's his name? Oh, damn it. Not Mark Parra. There you go.
Okay.
And a friend of his, it's her picture. They had sent me a picture, and I asked them if they want me to enhance, and I focused on two Bigfoots that I could see. There was more, looked like more in there on the image, but the larger one, I didn't send you those pictures. That's another one I'll send you later. But the small one was doing this in the picture, just on the, like, there's two big boulders, and it goes up like this. They like V out. So in the V, there was a big, it looked like a juvenile maybe, and it was going like this, like upset, And the bigger one, it had what looked like a necklace on it too.
Right.
So it wasn't my image, but that's the second time I've seen it. I've heard it many more times, but yeah, it's not very often. But that's why I tell people that, well, the whole they're shamans. They have medicine men. the Bigfoot.
Right.
In my
Well, that only
opinion,
makes sense
you
if
know
they're
what
as
I mean?
intelligent as we think they are. I mean,
Yeah.
I've done that in my books, but I
Right.
write fiction. But I've mentioned Gugway shaman and Bigfoot shaman. I think it's not outside the realm of possibility.
And
Yeah,
they're wearing,
This is part of that
wearing-
same image too, isn't it?
Yeah. And this one, let me take off the glasses so I can see. There you go. All right, that's that same image where there was the two on the left side of the tree. This is on a tree on the right side
Just
of that.
from the same
big
image
tree.
as this one, but it's
Yes.
the circle on the right side.
Yes. So if you look closely, you'll see again another smaller Bigfoot, juvenile. I'm guessing.
It's like it's sitting
Just-
on a branch.
Yeah,
but
sitting
those-
on a branch with its
those are
legs
enhanced, right?
swinging.
Jesus, you
Yeah.
enhanced those, yes.
I darkened the image out so
Right.
you could see it better. But yeah, that's there. Actually, like I said, I'll send. I have the original images all day. But if you don't know how to add contrast to a picture or whatever, you're gonna be like, man, that's not something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But if DA, if you go backwards one picture from where you were of the larger version of the picture,
This one.
yeah. So
There it is.
the one you just showed, though, if you look, you see the two arrows on the left, right?
Yeah.
On the left arrow, you go beneath that branch, you see two aspen, right?
Yeah.
You go down that aspen, you see a green branch with leaves crossing the two aspens.
Right.
Immediately underneath that, on the left aspen, you'll see a dark area. And
Yeah, I see it.
that's the crop you just showed a second ago, which looks like an adult, a very large adult, sitting right there watching the children.
Just playing
one?
like a
Yeah.
yeah. Like
you can't really make out a lot of detail, but it definitely looks like something big and dark is behind the trees. But considering how many of these pictures you've got that are just absolutely crystal clear, I'm willing to take this one at face value because it doesn't have to be
exactly.
It doesn't have to be looked at blurry and this is clearly not, these aren't pareidolia, folks. These are pictures of things that are looking back at them in the woods. I mean, again, jumping back to this one, there's the face. I mean, it just jumps right out at you.
Yeah, and these pictures have all been sent to Jeffrey Meldrum, which interested him, and Dr. Dyer from he was the former head of the anthropology department in Gallup, New Mexico, now in Maryland, for them to want to come down to this. And I took them out, showing them the area and teaching them, certain tracking techniques I got and what to look for. And so it got to that point, and where magazines wanted to do stories on it. Yeah, it's very interesting because it's right down the street from us, quote unquote, about 45 minutes away from the mountain is White Sands Missile Range, where they just found a bunch of footprints, fossilized footprints in the sand of megafauna and footprints like ours, really big ones and smaller ones. And so it's
and coincidentally, there have been a lot of UFO sightings over White Sands.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch.
I know a lot of people say there's a connection between Bigfoot and UFOs, and I'm not going to dispute that, nor am I going to support it. I don't know, but I do know there are a lot of accounts where they saw one and the other. So, is there a connection, or are the aliens just watching them too? We don't know.
Well, the thing is, through my research, because before I was really deep in the research, as in on the boots on the ground with Bigfoot, I was doing a lot of UFO research and alien abduction, and that fun stuff. Because I've been seeing stuff forever, and I got a bunch of videos. But one thing that did stand out was that in the abduction scenarios, it was very rare if you had a sighting reported of, hey, I saw a Bigfoot, then I saw a UFO. It's not that common,
Yeah.
But
they do happen, but it's not. It's a small percentage of the reports.
Oh yeah. So I was reading, I'd be reading the abduction reports, and every once in a while, not very common, there would be somebody under hypnosis that describes seeing a Bigfoot and the Greys on the same ship after they got abducted. And these people aren't Bigfoot researchers or nothing. They're more UFO people. If you want to call them something. But they didn't give a crap about Bigfoot. They didn't understand why it was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the Bigfoots would be there conversing with these Greys. You know, and it's like one of my those pictures of the tent. Looking in one of the pictures, it looks like there's a gray of some sort, but not gray. It was green, red eyes.
I got that one. I'm gonna send it over to him.
So I had no idea that night that all these three individuals were scaring the living crap out of my friend. You know, I didn't realize just how what craziness was going on because of the angle until I got home and brightened the images. You know, and saw what was there and was like, holy crap, what did I just catch? You know?
Right. I'm gonna send that over. I'm sending that one over to him right now, Jesus.
Nice. Yeah, I've had
looking right through the tent. You could see it plain as day.
Yeah. You know, and all I did was increase the saturation, and eyes turned red, skin turned green. You know, I was like, holy crap. And then I, you know, mirrored the image down the middle to see what the whole face would look like. And
I got a couple of others I'm going to send him that I didn't send yet. We're going to save for last.
And there's a lot of Bigfoot researchers out there that don't want to connect the two, don't believe in UFOs. There's a bunch of UFO people that don't believe in Bigfoots. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I only present what I experience and what I've gotten evidence of. Mm-hmm. That's what I present to you guys. It's rare that I...
Sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk. Just go ahead and finish.
I was going to say, I try my hardest not to ever present you guys with anything that I don't have any type of evidence for. It's very rare that I'll tell you a story unless it's a report that's not mine, you know?
Well, like this is the map of the missing 411 and a map of the cave systems in the United States. And if you notice, the biggest chunk in New Mexico corresponds to a cave system.
Yep. Could you bring up one more picture, brother, with those? Add a third picture and type in UFO sighting map.
Okay, let me see if I can find that.
Okay,
give me just a minute.
All right.
I think I've got it.
Okay.
I think I'm going to have to. It's not working. That picture didn't save. Give me a second.
No. As you'll see, is that when the picture comes up, that it's going to match like almost identical to those other two pictures you just showed us. You know? And then if you were to bring up a map of all the giant skeleton finds in the United States, once again, you're going to see the same exact
pattern. It's the same pattern almost.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so when people say there's no skeletons, you know, they're skeletons, but we're calling them giant natives. You know, and stuff like that. And, they must have been the Vikings. You know, they're really big. You know, it's just like, come on, man.
I am not finding a good quality image of you. Oh, here we go. Here's some UFO sighting. Here's the UFO sighting map. Hopefully this one will actually save. Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go. Outstanding.
All right. Let's
all right. I'm going to put this map back up so everybody can get it, refresh their memory. And
that's pretty close. I mean, all the
sites. Very close to the same.
It
overlays a lot.
It's bombarded. That's from 2000. That's from 1995 to 2014.
Yep. So and if you compare that to the giant thing, same thing. Right. I mean, they all match up together. So to me, it wouldn't make be so absurd for the possibility of UFOs, Bigfoots, giant skeletons, and cave systems to be in the same spots.
Right. That's what me and DA believe. The cave systems have a lot to do with their travel through the United States and also where they, sleep, breed, hide, because like people say they get on all fours like a spider and then next thing they know they disappear, and where do they disappear to? You know, they're not going in. They're not dimensional. I'll put money on that.
They know all the openings.
Exactly.
And all the escape routes. They've been there forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, there's one account that there's a story out there that a geologist was working for the government. Her and her team went down into a cave system and found a whole family living down there.
Yeah.
And they all ran out. The family chased them. They found weapons, old guns, old canteens, old cans. And she ran a different way, and she came out 20 miles in another state.
Wow.
And when she got back to where they were all camped up at, you know, they thought she was dead because what they accounted, they told the park rangers and the sheriff's department something was chasing them. And the one girl told her what it was, and then the other girl, and they said, no, it's bears. And so they're like, no, it's not bears.
Okay, I found the map you were talking about for the giant skeletons.
Yeah.
We'll run through them again. This is missing 411 cases by cluster. The map beneath it is cave systems.
Mm-hmm.
This is 1995 to 2014 UFO sightings.
Yeah.
And this is giant skeletons.
Yep.
Yeah. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
Look at Florida. I mean, look at Florida alone.
There's been a lot more giant skeletons found than people realize.
Right.
And
Yep.
generally, they are either taken by a museum or buried and told to be leave them alone. They don't want to admit they're there.
That's crazy part is the Florida population is like exactly where I live. That's nuts.
Yep.
That's northern Florida, central Florida, where I'm at. So, and we have caves here. We do have caves in northern Florida. I've been in them. You know, I would say 80% of them are full of water, but there are caves here.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't dive a cave. Too many stories of people getting tangled up and drowning in the cave.
Yeah, right. People think that they don't have caves because of the water level table in Florida, but the more north you go in Florida, you know, I went up to we did a cave tour. I can't think of the park. It was in northern Florida by Tallahassee, I want to say, up in that area by the Panhandle almost. And it went on for miles underground. Okay, in Florida. I was like, they have caves in Florida? Like, it blew me away.
Sorry, I'm trying to load those photos you just sent.
Yeah, PA, you know, Pennsylvania, big cave systems, Tennessee. We talked about it, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, the Blue Ridge Mountain areas. I mean, I've been up there. We had a cabin up there, my family. It's just crazy, the sightings up in that area. And I, like we talked about, I believe a lot has to do with the cave systems.
Yeah.
You know? I'm looking at the comments real quick, just getting in. I'm going to have to jump off of here for about 30 minutes. I got to go pick up John.
Okay.
He's at his daughter's house. He took the car to the VA hospital.
Okay.
So he just got back a little bit ago. He was up there all day doing testing and shit with the cardiologist.
How's he doing?
He's good. He just got back and they were playing cards tonight, so he called me. Hey, we're done. I'm like, oh, great. You usually ain't done till 11 o'clock, and so happened to be we got Jesus on. I got to jump off now. So
unfortunately, I got to jump out too and handle some things. Wish I could stay longer, guys, but I appreciate you guys letting me be here today. You know,
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys, and like I said, feel free to share those pictures all you want.
yeah, man.
And when you get any more and want to come back on, also when you get a chance, I want to be able to have you show those big artifacts you found, the stone tools.
Yep, I've got a bunch more to still show you. So
awesome! I can't wait.
It's gonna be a good show. All right, guys, you take care.
All right, man. Love you, brother. Just be good.
Thank
Need
you,
anything? Call.
Love you guys. Word.
All right.
Good night, brother.
So, anywho, I'm going to jump off. Don't go anywhere, people. I will be back.
Well, I will do my best to keep things going by myself.
I know. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Hey, no problem. No problem at all.
but we're only an hour into it. We're usually 2 hours. I should be back within 30, 20 minutes, people. Really quick. Thank you for all the comments and helping out, with the camera equipment, people. I appreciate it. I know DA does too.
Yeah, I definitely do.
We're not rich. We don't make money doing this. He doesn't make money doing this show. I don't make any money doing this show. Nobody sponsors us. No one has got, nobody backs us on this. Just him and me, Steve, and Doc, and Josh jumps in once in a while. But nobody gets paid, and it comes out of our own pocket, and everybody knows how things are nowadays. Gas prices and everything through the roof. So we're trying our best to get more content out there. But I will be back in 20 to 30, people.
Okay. I will try to keep things going.
All right, brother.
Had a question. Challen Balga says, hey, Dia, were you able to watch the link I sent on Discord, and anyone on the Discord? There we go. He says, DA, were you able to watch the link I sent on Discord? Anyone on the Discord? I haven't had a chance yet. I will try to get on there and watch that as soon as I can. Florida users, Facebook users, hey, bro, is that the Florida caverns? We were talking about some of the caverns and how they seem to correspond with a lot of the missing 411 cases. Had a great time with Jesus on the show. It's fantastic having him on. I know he's got a lot of personal stuff he's going on right now, so he can only stay with us for just a little bit. One thing I wanted to talk to y'all folks about is just like Anthony was saying, this is just kind of a labor of love for us. We appreciate the donations everybody made. They're awesome. But I am considering dropping the show back to one night a week. It's nothing against the show. I enjoy doing it. I have a great time doing it. But we put a lot of time in prepping for each show, and that would give me more time to write and concentrate on the things that I do that help provide for my family. Because right now, since I'm no longer able to be a cop anymore, the books are basically it. So I need to focus more on the books and try to get more content out book wise and things like that, because as much as I enjoy doing this, again, it's just a labor of love. It's something we do because we enjoy it. We are wanting to shoot some documentaries, and the wife and I have been discussing moving to the Florida area, mainly because the weather. In the wintertime, my arthritis really hurts my back, and it would give me an opportunity to go out and actually do some research with Anthony. So that's probably going to be happening probably in the next few months if we can manage it. I thoroughly have a great time doing this show, and I hate to cut it back to one day a week, but that may be what I have to do. Just so I can, like I said, concentrate on things that are actually putting bread and butter on the table. It's without going into any personal details, the last month has been pretty much of a strain on us. So we're going to be working on some things and trying to reorganize. Comment from William Nighthawk. He says it more than just caves and caverns. Our government, while making underground military bunker complexes, broke through parts. That's what we sealed long ago. Yeah, he's absolutely right. And it's one of the things we know about here in Missouri is they were digging what they called continuity of government bunkers in the Missouri deep limestone. So I know there are several of those in here. And I know they're just within driving distance of my house. There's an underground facility called the Springfield Underground, and it's massive warehouse storage. And I know it's there, and I know how big it's there because I used to work security down there back years ago before I was a cop. Lene Perkins says, question, DA, did you ever get a hold of Cam about the Audible book? Also totally understand doing only one night. Yeah, I messaged Cam, and he told me he was working on a lot of projects, but he's supposed to call me one night this week. If I haven't heard from him by, say, Saturday, I'll probably just call him. But I know he's been working on a lot of projects, so I'm hoping we'll get the next Wild Hunt book out soon. Last time him and I talked, he said he was close to getting it done, but I know he's been working on a lot of projects. Another thing we're working on doing is we want to start. My youngest son, Noah, that has been on the show, is going to be helping me we're going to be taking some of the shows from here on YouTube, downloading them from YouTube and converting them to audio only, then uploading them to Spreaker, so they'll go out on like iHeartRadio, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and that should be pretty helpful as well. But it's just a process getting that done, and it's going to be a while before we get it all out there. I don't think it was for me. Cryptidville says, if you can cut back, please prepare yourself for the onslaught of ribbing and jokes that will ensure for people like myself, we only have one day to get our jabs in. Hey, I totally get it. And again, it's not like I want to do it. It's just I've really got to concentrate on the things that are better for my family. If the situation changes and YouTube revenue increases because of ads and stuff like that, then maybe we can revisit it. But it's not like I'm going to do it today, starting today, because I've already got guests booked up through next month. So I'll probably be looking to doing that in the next month, maybe 2 months of cutting back to one show a week. AJ Congdon says, do what you need to do, take care of you and yours, and Florida is a good choice. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I've got a lot of projects that I am working on that I think is really going to be great. I'm going to be working with Jesus, who was just on the show, Jesus Payan. We're going to be doing some projects that are going to be converted to scripts that he's going to be pitching for television and for documentaries and things like that. So I'm working on him with a few projects that hopefully within the next 6 months to a year we'll be able to talk about in greater detail. I wanted to touch on it tonight, but since Jesus had to go so early, I didn't really get a chance to get to those. But we've got a lot of things going on, and I think some of those pictures we showed tonight has demonstrated that what Jesus is doing, especially down in New Mexico, is really paying off. And it's the kind of thing that Anthony and I want to do as well. It's just what's really been the limiting factor is equipment. I've got some basic equipment, but nothing that I could do high resolution imagery with. Oh, John Dose's audio show would make it more accessible. Yeah, we are going to be trying to convert those to audio and upload them as podcasts. Much the same as Dixie Cryptid does. It's going to be on, it'll be on Spreaker, which will get it on iHeartRadio. It'll get it on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, Podbean. There's about a dozen podcast options out there. Where people can download and listen to podcasts while they're in their car. So that's a market we haven't gotten into yet. And my son Noah is going to be instrumental in helping with that because I am not a tech guy. I barely know how to keep things running on my computer. And anytime I have a tech question, I call Noah. But some of the research things, the areas we're going to be doing here in Missouri, hopefully in the very, very, very near future, is that there's another abandoned campground, much like the Joe Baldwin. It's called Combs Ferry. I haven't been back in it because they bulldozed it off. You can't get into it at all with a vehicle. So what I'm going to have to do is go down there either by boat or with a 4-wheel drive with high clearance. My little SUV is not going to make it. Robert Forster says, put more books on Audible. Well, that is in the process. Kerry Pocket Doc Davis, who hopefully, if he's listening tonight, Kerry, I hope you get to feeling better, brother. Kerry's been pretty ill. So you guys think about, you are praying folk or, you positive vibes or anything like that. Any good wishes, send Kerry's way because he's under the weather. And I hope he's feeling better soon. He's been sick for about a week. Northwoods Cryptid says Podbean seems to work pretty good, which is awesome. Yeah, that's one of the options we're looking at. We're going to start downloading and converting a lot of the shows, and they'll be available on there, but they'll be in audio only. The only thing is anytime we talk about pictures on the show, of course, that's not going to reflect well on the podcast. They'll just hear us talking about it. Another thing we're looking at is we've got a couple of possible sponsors for the show lined up, which would be awesome. Let you guys know how that turns out, of course. So we've got a lot of things that we're trying to do here, a lot of directions we're going, and I'm hoping that the next couple of months things start really lining out. I need to get a couple more books done. I'm almost done with Apex Predator Dark Moon. I wanted to get it done, weeks ago, but it's just one of those things that every time I sit down to work on it, something seems to come up. This month in particular has been one of those bang, 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 one thing after another. So we're dealing with them one at a time and keeping my fingers crossed, but most of them have been knocking them down one at a time. So things are getting better, but it has been kind of a high stress situation. So I won't really go into it. And I'm not saying that for sympathy or anything like that. It's just life. Everybody has to deal with crap at one point or another. It just seemed to really pile on this month. William Nighthawk says, I use Anchor, then you get all the other Spotify, Spreaker, and others. Hey, man, send me an email or a private message and let me know how that works. That'd be something I would definitely want to look into. Challen Bauer says, if you need any help for expeditions, I'll help in any way possible. Well, if you're close by or don't mind driving, we will let you know. Alyssa Khan says, I will pray for things to work out for you and your show, DA. Thank you very much. Says, man, can't wait for the next books. Ones I've got close to finished is Dark Moon. Of course, I've got the next sci-fi book in the works. I'm about 25,000 words, maybe 20 into that one, and it's called Man's Marauders. It's the first it's an extension of the current sci-fi series, but it's another series within that universe. I've also got my first fantasy novel. It's approximately 30,000 words in, and it's going to be the first book of what's called the Blood and Redemption trilogy, and it's a fantasy series. But I'm pretty excited about the way things are going with Apex Predator Dark Moon. It's set in LBL. It's got a lot of action set up in it, and I will definitely be sharing those as soon as I have release information. I don't know if I've shown it before. I know I've shown it before, but I'll show it again, assuming I didn't delete it. Yeah, there we go. Here's the cover. There are going to be a few tweaks to it, but this is the cover for Apex Predator Dark Moon. I'm pretty excited about having this one come out. Yeah, we're definitely going to be breaking some new ground with this one. Also, if you guys haven't got your tickets yet to the first annual Dogman Cryptid Conference in Paris, Tennessee. These are the guests. Of course, there's if I can get rid of the banner here, there are a few more that were covered up. You see me down there in the lower right corner. But there's going to be a lot of people there, and you can get, if you go to the Paranormal Roundtable page, or if you go to my DA Roberts or Team DA pages, you'll find links to those over there. Hope you guys will check that out. Northwood says, I don't know how you can write so many different things all at once. I have a hard time working on just one story at a time. I liken my brain to being like a browser with 25 tabs open. At any given time, I've got projects going. I've also got some new short stories working. I had a conversation with somebody, it was Mark Napier, who's in the audience tonight, and it kind of gave me an idea. And this is going to be a Dogman type story that has nothing to do with the Wild Hunt or any of the current existing characters. These are all new characters in a totally different situation. Basically, it's cowboys and Dogman, so to speak. So I think you guys will get a kick out of that. It's going to be probably in a 15 to 20,000 range short story, but I think it's going to be pretty popular, and it'll be part of another compilation of short stories. I am working on more compilations, and I've got a couple of the projects I'm going to be doing with Cam Buckner over Dixie Cryptid. So look for those. Going to have probably another Steve Lilly story in the works at some point. So got a lot of irons in the fire. Robert Forrester says, what happened to Lakeview Man 2? I lost my narrator is what happened to Lakeview Man 2. So Kerry Davis, once he is feeling better and gets his recording equipment set up, Kerry is going to take over the Lakeview Man series. So that's going to be really good. I think he's got that great voice for it. So he's going to be working on the Lakeview Man series. They haven't even gotten started. I apologize for that, but I lost my narrator. So I had to look around until I found another one. So hopefully we'll be getting a lot more audios out in the next few months. Once we get some irons lined out and fires lit. And William Nighthawk says my people would side with Dogman. Well, maybe not in this case. I will say that. I think you guys will like the story. But I do have a lot of projects working and things that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. I'm hoping it all goes well, knock on wood, that I will have some release information for Apex Predator Dark Moon in the next week or so. I'm going to try to knock a few thousand words out on tonight. I'm really close. It's within the last 2 chapters of being complete. So it's at about 65,000 words when most of my books run to 72 to 75,000. So it's really close to being done. I've got the big final fight and then the wrap up, and that's pretty much all that's left to write on it. I have 5 books currently out in audio. I've got the first of the Ragnarok Rising series. I've got the first of the Codename Wild Hunt series, the first Lakeview Man, Codename Wild Hunt, the Cold Hunger, which I co-wrote with Kat Dahman, and my first of my sci-fi, which is Lost Legion: Perdition's Flames. So I've got 5 books out on audio currently, with 20 more to get done, plus 1 will be the new Apex Predator once it's finished. So I'm going to get my narrators a cracking because I'm outpacing them. But eventually all of them will be available on audio. If I had the sound equipment to do it, I would probably record them myself, or at least some of them, especially I think I would like doing the Apex Predator ones myself, or possibly the Ragnarok Rising ones, simply because those are definitely my voice. And I don't have to explain to anybody how to do the pronunciations. Meg Mills says audio. Amazon has them. They are available on Amazon. Just look up any of my books on Amazon, and those 5 books do have audio counterparts. Should have more available in the hopefully near future. But that's kind of the situation, is how things go right now. I've got a lot of writing projects in the works that I really need to concentrate on getting those done. And there's more than just us popping on here for 2 hours that goes into this show. I mean, we have to reach out to guests. Would do background, pull pictures. There's a lot that goes into prepping for each show. It's not just anybody that does a show will tell you there's a lot of setup time that goes into it. There's doing the promotions for it, getting it all out on social media, trying to tell everybody when you're going live, getting the show set up, all the background images, any audio or video you need uploaded, anything like that. So there's quite a few hours that goes into each show that happens before we even go on the air. And unfortunately, the days I do shows, that's pretty much all I get done. I do the show that night, and by the time I'm done and we eat dinner and everything, it's midnight or after, and it's pretty much time to go to bed. So I don't get a whole lot done on days when I do the shows. It really cuts into the writing time. So with prep time and show time, I lose a day and a half, almost 2 days worth of writing a week per show. So that doesn't exactly translate well to getting a lot of projects done. AJ says, I just ordered the 2 Lost Legion books. Awesome. Thank you so much. That is awesome, man. Werewolf says, just keep writing cryptid books. Love them all. Yeah, I'm not going on stopping any of those anytime soon. In fact, there's going to be another series added in the very near future. Just kind of giving a little hint of it. It's a spin-off series from Codename Wild Hunt. It's going to be called Project Olympus. And it's a team very much like the Wild Hunt team, only they deal with alien threats as opposed to cryptids. William Nighthawk says LBL is on my list this year sometime. Underground tunnels and bunkers they're used for observation of beings. Yeah, I would like to go back to LBL too. We're planning on going to LBL after that show in August. If you guys haven't got your tickets and you guys would like to pop in for the meet and greet, I'm going to be there Friday through Sunday, even though the show is only there. The show's only on Saturday. There was a VIP meet and greet that was set up for people to get tickets and come talk to all the people that are going to be guests there and speakers. But those sold out before I even knew they were on sale. But I will be there Friday, and if anybody wants to look for us there, I'm more than willing to sit and swap stories and talk about sightings. And LBL is just a short drive away. We're going to do the show on Saturday, spend the night Saturday night there. And Sunday, I'm hoping to go into LBL for a little while before we have to go home. But I'm going to be there with books and probably the codename Wild Hunt patches I'll have on the table. We're still working out on how to ship these, how much it's going to cost for shipping. But I've got a bunch of these ready to ship as soon as I figure out the shipping end of it. I need to go over to UPS and FedEx to find out, pricing, which one's best, because shipping at USPS is unreliable at best and expensive. So I wanted to find out what it's going to cost to ship one of these via FedEx and UPS to find out what the best deal is. And then I'll be able to say what for shipping and handling will cost. But the patches are going to be $10. And this depends on what shipping handling it is. And we're probably just going to set it up through my website, and anybody that wants one, we'll just do the PayPal link. Let's see. Jacob Hayes says, Job Hayes says, DA, you're going to make videos too, not just audio. We've got you mean the videos for the shows or for the books? Videos for the show, of course, are always available on Amazon. I'm not Amazon, here on YouTube. But when we're doing the audio uploads, that's just basically going to be podcast format. James Jenkins says, I need a patch. That's my old lieutenant from when I was a corrections officer. Hell of a guy. Great dude. I learned a lot from him about being a CO. And just an all-around good boss to work for. I'll hook you up with a patch, LT. Meg Mills says, LNA, I have the backpack. I sport. Yeah, I agree. Books are scary. Thank you. If you guys aren't familiar with some of we do have T-shirts and stuff like that. You can check out the merch. This link here. Or you can just go to my website, daroberts.net, and click the tab at the top that says merch store. We've got Wild Hunt T-shirts. We've got Apex Predator T-shirts. Got a Ragnarok Rising T-shirt. Got a few other custom T-shirts like the Embrace the Topic gag that we did. So there's quite a few T-shirts over there. And if you're also a member of my Region 2 North American Dogman Project group, there are a couple of shirts on there for the North American Dogman Project as well as the Nightmare Hunter shirts. There's quite a bit over there. Backpacks. We're working on hats. The thing is with the hats I'm not 100% sure I like the style of hats that Teespring does. So I may be looking to finding another vendor for hats. And Lindsay Wilson, am I lost? Can you find me? I'd appreciate it. I will see what I can do. Let's see, make sure I'm catching up with all the comments. Yeah, I've got a crap ton of the paperbacks to take with me to the convention. I mean, I got some of them right here. Like here's Uncanny Valley. Here's Lakeview Man. I got copies of all of the cryptid books to bring there. And something else I wanted to talk about, I think you guys will get a kick out of. There's a band that I've been a fan of since, I don't know, the mid-'80s. A band's called the Rainmakers. And they recorded a song on their album Tornado called The Lakeview Man. And that song, I always thought it was really creepy, really cool song. And this band, the Rainmakers, are from here in Missouri. They're up from near the Kansas City, Missouri area. And they would play live here in Springfield when I was a teenager. And a couple of venues were bars that I managed to sneak into to see them a couple of times. I know, bad Shame on me. But I did sneak into a couple of bars to watch them. And there were other places they played that was, under 18 could get in as well. And they also played the Ozark Empire Fair and a number of other venues. Just a really good band, super nice guys. The lead singer is a guy named Bob Walkenhorst. Super nice guy. I got to hang out with him. They did a live show here in town this last Saturday. And well, here you go. I'll just play this little snippet for you.
And that song, a lot of people told me they liked that song. And back in my hometown around Norwood, Missouri, it's kind of local legend around there. It's a true story about a soldier who took to the woods because he wanted people to leave him alone. And the question was, how long has that guy been out there? So somebody sent me a message on Facebook, and they said, did you know that some guy wrote a book called The Lakeview Man? And I said, well, no, I didn't. And lo and behold, the guy who wrote this book is from right here in Springfield or Nixa or Ozark or somewhere around here. D.A. Roberts is with us tonight, who wrote this book. And you can go to his website. What is it?
DARoberts.net.
DARoberts.net, or you can go to Barnes & Noble, or you can find his book, and I haven't read it yet. He just gave me this copy. He only charged me half price for it. So I'm looking forward to reading your book, D.A. Thank you so much. The Lakeview Man lives on.
And you guys should check that song out. You can find it on YouTube. Just look up The Lakeview Man by the Rainmakers. And it's a really cool song. It talks about some of the myths and legends from the Ozarks. But to have them call me out on stage like that was just a really cool experience. I gave him a copy of the book. I said, to the Rainmakers, thanks for the inspiration, D.A. Roberts, in the dedication. And Bob Walkenhurst, the lead singer, just again a super nice guy. I did not expect him to talk about it on stage. I just wanted to give him a copy of the book. But he he was really thrilled to get it and said he couldn't wait to read it. So him and I exchange messages on Facebook now. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he thinks. Mark Napier says if he reads it, he'll never look at the woods the same way again. That's epic, man. Thank you so much. I was super proud of that. It was just kind of, I was on cloud nine after he did that. I'm like, holy crap. I recorded the longer version. That actual snippet that I played there was just a short section that was taken by my friend Chris McGee, who was with me there at the show. And so he recorded that and then got my reaction. But I recorded the entire song. So if you go to Team DA or to my personal Facebook page, you'll find that video where not only does he do that full intro, but they play the live version of the song. And it is just really freaking awesome. Just such a great band. They did never get the notoriety they deserve because they've really got that really cool rockabilly sound and really, really good band. And their lyrics are really awesome too. There's a song called Small Circles that kind of described me and my high school sweetheart. Another song called Long Gone Long. I swear to God, I think they wrote that song about me when I was a teenager. Almost to a T. Kid in a small town. Great song. Really good band. So if you guys get a chance to watch any of their music, check them out. Just an awesome group of guys and a really, really cool sound. Yeah, Mark Napier says the song is on YouTube. Yeah, you can find pretty much all of their stuff on YouTube at some point or another. Kay Talk says, now you know when you read our comment. I love reading the comments, folks. And I love it when people reach out to me and ask me about the books or tell me how much they enjoyed the books. It makes my day every time. Mark Eddy says that band is a class act that acknowledge you from the stage. Yeah, they are. They're just a really awesome group of guys. The whole band's like that, just super approachable, down to earth. You would expect somebody that's basically, they've got like 8 or 9 albums. They got a bunch of albums out. You would think somebody that had that kind of notoriety would not be approachable, but they were just just super easy to talk to, just hillbillies from Missouri, just like me. So really enjoyed it. And it was a great experience. And to have them talk about my book up on stage was just an awesome. AJ Congdon says, DA, can you put their name in the chat? Yes, I will. The band is called The Rainmakers. And you can find them all over YouTube. I think they've got their own YouTube channel. In fact, I will go over to YouTube right now and grab the link to the song The Lakeview Man and put that in the chat. And to me, it's just a really wicked cool song. Here we go. Here is the link. You guys listen to that after the show. Okay, listen to The Lakeview Man. This song, the song was written probably somewhere around 1988. I think I was a senior in high school or a junior when that song came out. I remember buying the album new when it came out. Just a really cool album, good sound to it. But when my boys were little, at night when my boys were very young, heck, I did it up until they were in like middle school. But if I wasn't working that night, because I worked a lot of overnights, they would always want me to come tell them a story. And I used to make up all these crazy stories, a whole series of stories called the Porcupine Ridge Investigators, which was kind of a Scooby-Doo like little stories that were about them solving mysteries, and the boys loved that. But I would also sometimes sing songs to them. And one of the songs I sang to them was The Lakeview Man. And the boys, even today, love that song. Really, really just a neat song. William Nighthawk says, let me know when you get the coffee table book with all the books combined, because I don't know if I'd put it down. Hang on about that. If you go to my website, which is daroberts.net, let me put that up on the banners in case anybody hasn't seen it. There we go. My website is daroberts.net. If you go there, and one of the tabs is marked timeline. And if you click on the timeline and read them in that order, you will find a much larger picture. And that's something I wanted to do from the time I first started writing the books, is I wanted to do something like Tolkien did. If you look at the Lord of the Rings trilogy, it's really not, well, each one of the books of the trilogy, The Fellowship, The Return of the King, The Two Towers, all three of those are two books in one. About halfway through, you'll find book two. So it's really 6 books instead of 3. But it's always been packaged as a trilogy. But when you read that from beginning to end, it's really one story. It's one huge story. And that's what I wanted to do with the DA verse. I wanted to tell something that while collectively and on their own, they tell stories of their own. But when you put them together like a jigsaw puzzle, then you get a much larger image. And that's something that I've always wanted to do. It's something I thoroughly enjoy. There's a lot to it. A lot of stuff I've got to remember to keep all that going. And not only that, but sometimes I go back and will reread sections of books, previous books, so I make sure I've got details right. But there's a lot to it, keeping that many books going and keeping that continuity going. And I love it.
I'm back.
Hey, he's back. Martin,
sorry, I had one.
No problem, man. No problem. I babbled for about 20 minutes and kept him going.
Okay.
They say if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, then baffle them with bullshit.
Yeah.
Mark Napier says, that's the soundtrack in my head when I read the books. Well, that's awesome, man, because I always write with music playing, and that's something I enjoy doing too. Is I ought to do like a playlist of songs that I listened to while I wrote certain books. Northwoods Cryptid says, your books are what inspired me to start writing. I don't have any plans to publish anything, but it's a great creative outlet. Yes, it is. And a lot of my early books, especially the early Ragnarok Rising books, were how I dealt with the PTSD after I nearly got my skull stomped in back in 2012. There's a long story with that.
What do we got going on here?
See if I missed anything.
Lord, William Nighthawk, Lord of the DA Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
That's funny. Northwoods, you're going to be posting your books online, Facebook? Yeah, if you going to publish that, dude, let me know. I'll be more than willing to help you. Get word out there. Werewolf 5674 says just checked out the song Lakeview Man. Great song. I love that song. Says, yeah, I've been reading the books in order because just reading them like the series they are, it's like, wait, where did this guy come from and what happened at this place? Yeah, there are a lot of things that happen, like even in the Wild Hunt books, some of the important things that happen to some of those characters happen in other books.
Oh, yeah.
So everything all right? John okay?
Yeah, he was just playing cards and I had to pick him up because he took his daughter's car, so I wouldn't be left without a vehicle. So, and then he took the car and then he came straight home, laid down for a little bit. I mean, he left here. What time did I text you? About 5:30 this morning? Or about that? He left here about 5 to go to Gainesville to get up there for the tests. So he got home about 11:30 from being there at 6, and then he went straight to go play cards and left the car there, and I just went to go pick him up. So he plays cards every Wednesday night at his daughter's. So a bunch of people, my other 2 cousins play there. It's not my cup of tea. I wish it was, but it ain't. It's like a bunch of cackling hens sitting around the table, playing. Yeah, it's not me, but yeah. Oh, what else is going on? Northwood Cryptid. Since the story's okay, continuing the Wild Hunt, he will be up to DA as far as okay weather. Yeah, well, yeah.
We've already kind of discussed that a little bit in email, and I'm pretty willing. So just shoot me a message, and once you think you're at a point you're ready to start looking at publishing, just let me know. Well, I'm sure we can come up with something. I'm pretty flexible on it. I'm just thrilled to death that you bought enough of my books that you wanted to write your own stories set in that universe. So
I was going to try to get John to jump on to say hello to everyone, but I don't know. Let me see how his computer's working. I'll send him the link over and see if he can jump on. Say, hey. Keep it going with his stories. See what's going on. What else is happening? We got 69 people. Good number of people. I'm not going to go there, but it's a good number. But anyway, I guess everybody dropped off when I left and Jesus left, and sorry about that.
It is what it is.
And I'm not talking for Jesus, but he has some personal stuff going on right now, so I'm not going to disclose. It's up to him. He has to take care of some stuff, though.
Doyle Thorne says, DA, you are so right. I read them in order. It's amazing how you tied them together. I finished yesterday. Is Wiley still alive? I have no more books to read, patiently waiting. Well, if you've read Lakeview Man 3, Beast of Blunk Road, if you've read this one, Wiley shows up in this one. And I do have plans for a second Ragnarok series. And it's going to be called Wastelands of Ragnarok. That's kind of a back burner project, one of those, when I get it done kind of things. So that will happen at some point. But if I live to be 150, I'll never run out of story ideas. I've got so many notes on story ideas in different books. There's a lot of things that I haven't even started writing on yet that I still want to write. Northwood says maybe after the second story finished, we can talk more about it. I already have an idea brewing for a third. That is awesome, dude. Meg Mill says, no, Anthony's still been alive and kicking. Hey, hug your pities for me. Yeah, he's got a couple of pities, and I've got one spoiled, rotten little pup dog named Harley.
Yeah, what'd she say, Meg Mill? Okay, no, Anthony, it has still been lying here kicking and hugging. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got a couple of pits, like you said. I got 2. Well, actually, we got 3. 3. We have a blue and 2 Staffordshires. My uncle has a blue pit, and I have 2 staffs. Yeah, I'm going to have John jump on for a little bit. Let me send him the link over, say hello to everyone. So everybody gets to see the infamous uncle that I talk about so much. Let's see. I'm going to send him the link. Yeah. But anyway, I was going to send, did you show everybody the camera system that we were looking at?
No, I hadn't done that yet. That was something I was wanting to do, but hadn't quite made it yet. Give me just a second to find that again.
Yeah, it's a 4K system with a stabilizer, and it roughly runs, and it's probably not a name brand thing, but it's good for what to start out with. It's about $175 to $250, which is not that bad for a 4K.
This one's $149. Let me do a screen share. Share the screen. Share screen. Share screen.
Just to give everybody a rough idea of what I'm talking about.
That's the one that you sent me.
Yeah, and there's other ones like the 4K system, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 batteries. It's got the mic. It's got everything with it. I mean, that's perfect for what I need to do out here and get it done. That'll be awesome. But it's not that expensive. What was that? $149?
Yeah. This one says currently unavailable, so we need the other one.
Yeah. I mean, but there's a bunch of them on the bottom. They vary in price. So it's through Amazon. At least it's protected to where, it's not gonna, if something happens, right away I can, we can claim it.
Now this one's on sale right at the moment anyway. It's usually $184.99. It's on sale for $149.
Yeah, it's not bad. Even though the original price is not bad. I mean, you think about it. The 4K system, and then you have the HD system. Even the HD. I don't know how many, Alyssa. I don't know how many. I think DA could read that. How many megapixels is there?
I already closed out of it. Let me.
If it's a 4K system, Alyssa, it's going to be up there. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Looking for the megapixels.
I don't want to get any grainy pictures.
No, definitely not. I don't see anything where it says it's megapixels. Oh, 48 megapixels.
Okay, so it's
pretty high.
That's a 4K system then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm shooting for. I mean, I want to get some good quality stuff like Mark Zasky was getting on his Apple tablet.
Yeah.
I know that they're up there in the pixel range. I think
I've got to replace my gimbal that I use for shooting videos with my cell. Apparently, while we were on vacation for my birthday, when my wife took me to the cabins in Arkansas, I must have left it in the cabin. I can't find it anywhere. It's not in our luggage. It's not in my backpack. So somewhere along the line between Hot Springs, Arkansas, Fouke, Arkansas, and Durant, Oklahoma, one of those 3 places I left that gimbal.
Yeah,
and that is bugging the crap out of me because
you left it there.
I left it and I don't know where it's at. I must have set it down somewhere, didn't pick it up. It just didn't get. I took it with us on vacation and it didn't come back. So somewhere along our path, my gimbal is missing. So I'm gonna have to get another gimbal. So that'll hopefully happen very soon. Because
$20.
No, I think that one was. I want to say it was 60. But the thing is when you film with your cell phone, in your hand, you're going to have any kind of movement, but that gimbal completely stabilizes it.
Right.
So I was trying to do all of with my cell phone filming with the gimbal, and
yes, John.
Like an idiot, I left it somewhere. Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Oh, wow, it works. Look at that, it works.
Ta-da!
Yeah, this time it works. So anyway, we're like I said, people, the camera system and everything, that's what we're shooting for. DA has the mic system, stuff like that. So I want to get rolling with it and get some good quality footage and get that documentary going at least, because it's going to take a while to edit. I've never done it before. Never did any editing.
Me either.
Most
Noah's
likely
pretty good at it.
I was going to say Noah's going to probably help out.
Yeah, he already said he'd help with the editing.
Right. And I want to make it, good quality stuff.
Yeah.
Probably not as good as Mark and
oh God, no,
Terry's.
they've got probably a $15,000 lens.
Yeah. I mean, they got some good quality stuff, but we'll get there eventually. Rome wasn't built overnight.
That's a fact.
And Kerry's in the business doing this, 4 years now? and Mark's been doing it maybe longer, but Mark's been doing it for 17 years.
Mhm.
So it takes time to get up there.
Yeah.
It's going to take time to get up there. And they started out just like DA did and me, no, they didn't have any backing. So, I mean, it's going to take a while, but we'll get it out to you people. I promise. I want to do it.
Yeah, we've
I
got
know that.
If I can get down to Florida, we're Anthony are going to go out into the swamp where he had his sighting and shoot out there. Plus, there's some other places near Ocala and the Ocala National
Right.
Forest, and down near the Green Swamp where we're going to go film. I would also like to do some more filming here in Missouri before we move.
Mhm.
A lot of that is equipment issues because my camera on my phone is great. Don't get me wrong, but it's still a cell phone camera. I've got a night vision thermal camera, but it's not awesome. It
That's
does a
the
passable job.
What's the one that you showed me, DA, that you got? That night vision thermal one.
It's one I got off Amazon. It was like $40. It's not an expensive unit, and it's okay. I've played around with it a little bit and used it a couple of times. It's okay. It does a decent job, but it's not
Right.
great.
Right. Oh, and I got to give creds out. Doug Highcheck sent out a awesome trail cam.
Yeah,
that I've
Doug,
been
if you're
playing.
listening, thanks, man. That was awesome.
Thank you. That I've been playing with. I guess he designed it and had his input on it, but I've been playing with it here at the house until I get out there. It's the quality is like off the chain, and it's so small. But he sent it over to us for nothing, and I appreciate that, Doug. Thank you so much. That's going to come in handy, really. Yeah, I just want to get rolling with this, people. Get some good quality stuff out there. Get going. Get the old man over there out of his seat over there, John. Get him going out there. Get him.
John, how you
going.
been, man?
I go. Yeah. Yeah.
He said,
that.
He said, "How you feeling?"
How
Oh,
you feeling?
pretty good. Usually with my hands, but
I see you're still salty.
I'm not even going to go there.
Where's the wig?
that's an Anthony's been playing with. He had it on one of his dogs earlier. I don't know. Dog was scared. He tell you about our little friend that was out in the driveway?
He hadn't
The
talked
bear.
about it on the air. He told me about it, but he hasn't talked about it on the air.
Yeah,
we
about a 600-pound black bear.
That's a big
Yeah,
bear.
we got a visitor.
Yeah, trying to get in the back of my truck.
Yeah, we had. I got a phone call about 5:30 in the morning from my neighbor next door, and he's blowing up my phone. I'm like, who is calling me at 5:30? And I look down at the text, and he goes, "Are you up? There's a big 600-pound black bear in your driveway. I guess he was pulling out, or he walked out of his driveway to grab. I don't know what he was doing, but he said it scared the living hell out of him, and he clapped and it took off down the road. And we had, John will tell you the story about the other black bear encounter that we had here about, I don't know, about what, 15 years ago when I had the house next door?
Yeah, it was about 12, 15, yeah.
Yeah.
That mama bear and a cub used to come across the back. We'd be out in the screen room watching TV, and the mama would come over the fence from the driveway into the backyard and wait there on the sidewalk for the cub to come, and then they go back to the back and go over the back fence. About two or three nights in a row. Yeah.
And she'd look right at us, not even paying a care in the world. Just look at us and just stare at us, and she'd wait for the cubs to jump over. And not only she'll not go through the backyard, go over the back fence to the back field, and
well, we were like 20, 25 feet away from her. But.
And that's
pretty close for a bear, especially with cubs.
How would you like to be? How would you like to be weed eating? And there was one living under the guy sold his house on the corner from us, and it was built up on stilts almost. Okay,
it was a cottage on the lake, and they moved it up there.
Right, and this black bear, I guess, was living underneath it,
under the porch.
And the guy that bought it, or it wasn't the guy that bought it, was who was it?
No, it was Ralph.
Ralph across the street went over and helped the neighbor out to cut it. And he's out there weed eating, and all of a sudden I'm washing the truck, and I look over, I see him drop his weed eater, and he's hauling ass up the road. And here comes this bear out of the porch, just looking around at him like, where was that? Yeah, I mean, we've had some crazy stuff out here, man. Wild pigs running around, horses,
500 pound sow, breaking in people's screen rooms and breaking fences.
I shot one, my cousin's birthday. It was here. I shot one, and this is a funny story. Everybody's here. You know, everybody. Danny at the time is his son-in-law. He was the deputy sheriff. So he's here with his daughter, his wife. You know, they're married. His other daughter, Kim, was here. It was her birthday with her husband. I'm here. You know, I had a house next door, and just got a, what was it? A
270 Win Mag.
270 Win Mag. And we just sighted it in that week. And the neighbor across the street calls my uncle. Oh, I got something breaking into my patio. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, breaking in? She goes, yeah, it's a pig. I go, a pig? You know. Well, this thing was a wild feral hog, a sow. And she was breaking in to get to the oranges and just destroying everything. But there was more than one. So I called the sheriff's department. He goes, shoot it. I said, okay.
We're in a development. And he said, shoot straight, and hung up.
Yeah, that's all he said.
That was a lieutenant. Yeah.
So it goes right behind the wood pile, right in front of the wood pile where she has wood piled up for a fire. And I wait, and John's like, wait till he gets in front of the wood. And Danny, his son-in-law, the deputy, he's holding the spotlight on it. It's in the middle of the night. Nobody knows what's going on inside the house. We got a packed house now. So I ripped this 270 Win Mag off. It's about, what, 12:30 at night?
Yeah, 11:30, 12.
That'll wake a few people up.
Wake? Yeah, everybody came out of the house. They were like, what the hell was that? I mean, I ripped into this thing, dropped it right there, and then I was going to clean it. It was just so nastified. It was pregnant, had milk. I mean, she was all cut up, tore up. And we took it out to the woods and disposed of it. And I dropped my cell phone. I went back the next day to get my cell phone where I left it, and the friggin' pig was gone.
It had been drug off by a bear.
By a bear.
So when people 350, 400 pound pig.
When people say, "Oh, black bears don't eat meat," yeah, they do.
They're omnivores.
Bullshit.
They do.
They're omnivores. They will definitely eat meat.
Yeah, this thing it took it and took off with it. It just gone. You could see where it dragged it off through the woods, and we were like,
He called ahead. He called ahead first because your phone was gone too.
Yeah, couldn't find my phone. Nothing. It was gone, man. Yeah,
So there's a black bear running around out there with cell phone service.
Yeah. That's probably, you hear it ring, it lights up. You'll see it. Yeah, buzzes. It buzzes. But anyway, people, that's what goes on here in Florida.
Especially
in Ocklawaha, Florida. That's where we live. So when people go, where? Ocklawaha. What does it mean, Unc? What's the name of the Indian name?
Land of Beautiful Waters.
That's it. Land of Beautiful Waters.
By
Lake. Yeah,
one of the houses we were
Weir.
looking at online
was
Lake
Weir is 8 miles long and 5 miles wide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beautiful lake.
But go ahead, DA. What were you saying about the lake?
I just said we found houses online, and one of them we looked at was in Ocklawaha.
Yeah, you got to pick the good area in Ocklawaha. That's the whole thing.
We used to have the Ma Barker shootout. This is where her and her son were killed by the FBI, and we used to have a reenactment of it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
At the Chamber of Commerce, my Lions Club, because I was president of it. We would, our people would put it on, and we got some of the cops dressed up like FBI agents with 45 subs and Thompsons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they go and they kill him, and then we had this old black guy, Toby. Yeah, he's a hell of a good guy. He'd go in the house and come out and say, "They all dead."
Yeah, they used to do that. They used to put a reenactment on here. That's where the FBI killed her and their boys. Was right here in Aqua.
Yeah.
And the house is still. Where's the house at, Unc? With the bullet holes in
It's
it?
over here they moved it over to by Kearney Island here, right around the corner.
Yeah, I mean it's still there. It's crazy the history here that nobody really
Still
knew about.
Still got the bullet holes in it too.
Mm-hmm. It's nuts. It is nuts. So that's where I live, people.
We also have a house down on a lake. Well, they tore it down and built another one now, but it used to like be a Chinese pagoda setup.
Mm-hmm.
It's where Rock Hudson and what was
Gomer
his name?
Pyle. Gomer
Yeah.
Pyle.
Yeah,
Jim Neighbors.
Jim Neighbors.
They lived
that
together.
was their love nest.
Yeah.
The neighbor. There was secret rooms in it and everything else, and had films and stuff. People hiding in the rooms doing films of them and stuff.
Yeah.
So we won't get into that.
No, but anyway,
Yeah.
that's where we live. That's where I live and my uncle lives.
Yeah,
So,
we got a little history around here.
Yeah.
There's some wild history around this area too. There was a shooting back, I believe it was in the 1930s, just outside Springfield. It's known as the Young Brothers Massacre, and until 9/11, it was the single largest loss of law enforcement in a single outing.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, there were
That's
6
crazy.
officers massacred basically by the Young Brothers, who were later caught and killed. Well, they actually committed suicide before they could be caught. They were caught down in Texas somewhere. But they killed 3 officers from the city of Springfield and 3 sheriff's deputies, including the sitting sheriff, Sheriff Wiley Mashburn, which is where I got the name for Wiley Grant in my books.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wiley Mashburn was one of the ones that was killed.
Nice.
Wow.
That's great.
One of the officers that was killed was a guy named Ollie Crosswhite. And funny, the irony about that is I ended up working for his great grandnephew, the great grandson of his brother. I worked for him for years in a lab. Super nice guy. Him and I used to
Nice.
talk about the Young Brothers Massacre all the time.
Yeah, Tovah, my brothers.
Yeah. But anywho, people, if anybody has any encounters or stories that they want to come on the show and tell DA, you don't have to show your face. You can do it like I'm doing right now.
Yeah, we don't want to see your face anyway.
No, I'm not. Trust me. You could do it that way. We just can't change your voice. They don't have to give you a real name or anything like that. But if you want to tell your story and get on the show and just talk, you're more than welcome. And that's how I would do it, and that's how he would do it. You don't want to see my ugly mug. That's for sure. That's
right.
sure.
Scares little children.
My days of modeling, are over. Back in the day, I did some.
Oh, back in the day, yeah, when you were 1.
Yeah,
He was the Gerber baby.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't do it anymore.
from the back,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so wrong.
I know. We're just crazy on here. But yeah, any Dogman stories, any Bigfoot, any cryptid stuff, hit DA up or hit me up, and we'll get it going and see if we can get you on the show. I know we have a good couple of guests coming on in a couple of weeks.
Well, we've got some good ones coming on this Saturday. Nona Boss and her son.
Yes, Matt will be on. Yes,
that'll be really good.
yes.
Those are going to be excellent ones, and we've got some other good ones coming up in the next few shows.
I'm not going to mention.
Not going to mention.
No, we got some good guests coming up though.
Yeah, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag or anything like that. But we've got some really good ones. Look for the announcements as we post the shows. Tonight we were supposed to have Barton Nunnally, who is if you guys are familiar at all with Dogman or anything like that. Barton Nunnally has written a couple of books called one called Inhumanoids and another couple of books called Mysterious Kentucky Part 1 and 2. Fantastic books if you haven't had a chance to read them. He was going to be on tonight, but his computer crashed, and he couldn't get online to do it. So we ended up last minute replacement, but Jesus was really more than willing to come in and step in and bring us a bunch of pictures. So big thanks to Jesus for that.
Yes, he's always willing to jump in and help. I know that.
Yeah. We had about 48 hours notice that Martin wasn't going to be able to do it. So
right.
Jesus really helped us out there. Another big shout out to Justin Shapernsky, who came on about a week ago.
Yes.
Awesome dude, great guest. If you guys didn't catch that show, you need to go back and check it out. We've had some really awesome guests coming up. And on the 29th of this month, some good friends of mine that host the show called Horror Chronicles. You can find it on YouTube. You can find them on Facebook. They have their own podcast called The Horror Chronicles, and they do horror films and cryptids and pretty much very similar to what we do. Those guys Ryan and JT will be coming on, and we're going to be talking about the Akashic Records, which if you're not familiar with that, it's basically like if you're not familiar with lucid dreaming, it's maybe being able to access your subconscious, and supposedly there exists a place in within, not in this dimension, but where you can access essentially all your memories and ask questions and things like that. And I've been trying for a while to achieve what they call lucid dreaming, and I think I finally did it. And I've been trying for weeks, and I finally did it just kind of out of the blue one night. And it was pretty interesting. It's an experience I've never had in a sleep state before. And my son has had issues where he had sleep paralysis, but this wasn't like that. It was, I knew I was asleep, and I was able to control everything around me. And it was really, really different.
That's weird.
It is really weird. But it's bizarre. I mean,
they wanted to do that with, didn't they try that with you?
Yeah.
They tried that with the nurse came in or did it over the phone, and he's looking at her like when Colbert was on, and he's talking to the nurse over the internet, camera to camera, and she's like, all right, just go into a deep, and he's looking at me, and he's like, what the hell? He's like, this ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work for me.
Anthony, they tried that. You had a question on here for you.
How do I get a hold of you? Okay, go to my Facebook. There should be 2 accounts. You'll see the one that's pretty much active with DA on it. Look for that, Alyssa. If I'm trying to think how I could give you, I tell you what, if you want to email DA, or you can email me, and I'll give you my contact number and do it that way. And if you have any good content, like, you've been saying, you got good pictures and stuff like that, and more than happy to have you on the show and talk about it. That'd be awesome. It really would. Just go to DA or go to my Facebook and hit me up. You can't. In fact, try it now. See if you can send me a friend request since we're on the air, and we'll do it that way. Or send him an email, and he'll shoot you my phone number. I don't want to get my number out on the air because all you women will just be blowing up my phone, and I can't have that.
Oh, yeah. I had to put my sunglasses on when you took your hat off.
I know, my head.
You glare.
You
oh,
don't
my
want
God.
I think they'll be calling for
big
John.
arms coming at you. But yeah.
I think they'd be blowing up your phone looking for John.
Yeah, I know. Well, they already think he's
hilarious. I got to beat him away now.
He's single, ladies. He's a catch.
Oh, God, don't do that.
I know. He's a catch. We'll raffle him off on the show if you want.
Don't worry. You can catch me if you want it. I can't move.
No.
I couldn't run. I know that. I couldn't run.
I think the funniest show was with Jessica Jones. That was
that was pretty hilarious.
Oh,
I'm glad she was a good sport about that because
I love her.
She might have got upset.
I love that girl to death, man. She's awesome.
She is awesome.
I mean, she is. She's a good woman. She even when she has her show, I'll get on there and I'll tease her on the comments. This is not the Bigfoot dating game, and you'll see her smirk. And then afterwards she'll send me a bunch of text messages, and stuff. But we talk. She's good mother, good woman, very good show.
Very nice lady.
Solid woman. Very. Her and her girlfriend. Her friend Tanya, the blonde, but very very good. Both of them. I'm in contact with both of them. They're very good people. I mean, very good people. Okay, so you're gonna send it to DA? Okay, and I'll get my number. Yeah.
I'll just forward it over to you.
Yeah, it's no big deal. You can call me and we could talk. We'll talk about it, and then I'll pick your brain a little bit. If you got good content, good pictures or anything, send them over to me, and we'll throw them up on the air, man, and have you on the show to go over everything. Do it that way. So I mean, yeah, but that's what we're doing, people. DA is going to be probably headed down this way in the near future, moving.
Hopefully, very near future, but we'll see.
Right.
Hopefully, we'll see what's going on in the next couple of months. We got to get a couple of things done. Got a couple of things that have to be done, and we'll kind of go from there. Like I said, this last month or so, just kind of a bunch of crap happened, and we're trying to get out from under it at this point.
It'll all come together.
I think it's everybody's going through the same shit.
It's just life. It's like I said, I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that. I'm just saying it's life. Everybody's got a lot of crap going on, and mine just seem to pile up all at once. Meg, thank you. Meg says, "You come so far from the first days. I'm proud of you." Well, thank you very much. I sure appreciate that. It's been a lot of work. And like I said, it's just a labor of love. We do this because we want to. I really hate to cut it back to one show a week, but I'm probably going to have to because, unfortunately, I do need to dedicate more time to the things that that put food on the table and keep a roof over our head. As much as I enjoy doing the show, there's a lot that goes into prepping shows, more than just us getting on here for a couple hours and jibber jabbering. So we've got guests booked up for the next several weeks. I don't want to, get a hold of them and say, you know what, we're going to one day a week. I'm going to push you out. So the ones we've already got set up, we're going to take care of.
And, we don't make money doing this. I mean, I don't want anybody thinking, YouTube pays,
no, it doesn't.
Believe me, we're not making,
unless you've got a channel the size of, say, Dixie Cryptid or What Lurks Beneath. I'm so far beneath YouTube's notice. It's funny. Danny Lee Bailey says, "I like your straw hat." This is a what's called a pork pie. It is a reproduction of the Colt.
Oh God! Look out! Whoa!
Yeah, the glare off the noggin.
That's my cousin's hat.
Yeah, you're related to Darren McGavin, which is freaking awesome. Yeah. I would love to have met him and got to hang out with him.
My mother's cousin. Yeah.
Now this is what it is. It's the Night Stalker. Yeah. It's an official reproduction. I credit that show, the Night Stalker.
Show him put up the picture of the show. I don't think people really know. I know the show, and my uncle knows the show. Put up the picture of the show.
Let me.
People in the comments don't understand it. It was the forefather to the Scully and
the X-Files. The guy that wrote the X-Files drew on Kolchak the Night Stalker as his inspiration.
This is back in the 80s and the late 70s. DA it was on.
It started in 1972 and ran through 1974. There were two made-for-TV movies: The Night Strangler and The Night Stalker, and then there was one season of the actual show. And they left it on a cliffhanger. They didn't do part 2 of the final episode. It never got done. No. I really wish they had done more seasons because it's one of those things where, if you watch the shows today, yes, the special effects are bad. They were 1972 special effects. What still holds up about this show today is the writing. The writing was fantastic. There's an episode called The Spanish Moss Murders. Still my favorite episode. That episode scared the living crap out of me when I was a kid, and I still love that episode. And the creature on the show is called Paramal Faye. which was supposedly a Cajun legend. And for years, I thought it was just made up for the show. And I'd been asking around, I'd been looking in books, and I found contradicting reports. There were some websites that claimed it was real with nothing to back it up. And then there were others that said, no, it was completely made up for the show. So I was about ready to give up until you guys probably remember Robert Miller, who's been in the audience quite a few times. I wrote it into the books. His character's called Sentinel. So if you read the books, you know who Sentinel is. It's Robert Miller. He's got family down in Louisiana. And I asked him about it. He goes, let me make a couple phone calls. Come to find out, it is a real thing from the eastern side of Louisiana in the swamps. He said it's probably a type of Bigfoot, because if you got a Bigfoot creature living in the swamps, that Spanish moss down there is everywhere. It covers trees. It's in houses. Yeah, that Spanish moss gets on everything.
We got it here.
It's not outside the realm of possibility that a Bigfoot creature that lived in the swamp would probably have Spanish moss tangled in its fur, or the fur, if the fur was wet enough, probably would look a lot like Spanish moss. So I think the Paramalfay legend is stemmed from Bigfoot sightings, but in eastern Louisiana and western Mississippi, the Paramalfay legend is alive and well, and they tell kids if you don't behave, Paramalfay is going to get you.
Danny Lee puts out Spanish moss is pretty. Well, let me explain something to you about Spanish moss. It holds chiggers and parasites.
Right.
If it gets, there's a story, the Spanish conquistadors that came into Florida were using it as bedding to sleep on.
Oh, those poor guys.
And they learned really quick not to use it anymore because they came down with chiggers and there was something else on. What was the other bug they got?
Chiggers. Used to get in their hair.
Lice. Chiggers and lice, body lice and hair lice. Oh. That stuff is nasty.
And ticks.
And ticks.
Oh yeah, and ticks.
Oh yeah.
Danny Lee Bailey says, "So don't touch the moss."
My backyard's hanging down when you walk through it.
Danny's like, I'm not touching it. Yeah, well we have it hanging from the trees here.
You see that Spanish moss hanging everywhere in the swamp? It looks eerie as shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it like, oh, that looks creepy. Especially like right at dusk, it looks like something hanging in the tree. It's pretty bizarre stuff.
It'll kill a tree. It'll kill a tree in a heartbeat.
That picture I brought up, that was Kolchak the Night Stalker. Fantastic series. You can find the DVD of the entire run of the show on Amazon. I've got it on Blu-ray somewhere in the house. But like I said, there were a couple of made-for-TV movies, and then I want to say it was like 13 episodes. I can't remember exactly how many episodes of Kolchak was made, but the end of the first season ended on a cliffhanger, and they didn't renew the second season.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I
some versions of the story is that Darren McGavin didn't want to do it.
Right.
And other versions of the story is that they just didn't want to continue the show. But when I was a little kid, I used to watch those. Reruns would come on late night television, and I would sit and watch those with my mother. And that's what made me really love horror. That was my first real experience with anything horror. And just absolutely loved it. And again, the hat. I still love Kolchak the Night Stalker, and I probably always will. Just a great series. And again, don't go into it expecting modern special effects. The special effects, 1972 level, really cheesy effects. But what they did was very smart, especially in the episode "The Spanish Moss Murders." In that episode, you only ever really saw the creature dead on a couple of times. Most of the time, it was in profile or in shadow or in a reflection. So it really ratcheted up the tension by barely letting you get glimpses of this creature. But it was still my favorite episode. Tim Williams posted it Saturday nights at 11:30.
That's cool.
You can find some of the episodes for free on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think most of them, if not all of them, are available on YouTube. If you Google, if you search Kolchak the Night Stalker on YouTube, I think I've watched a couple episodes on there for free.
I didn't know they made jelly out of Spanish moss.
Minus the bugs, of course. The bugs made it extra crunchy.
Oh, maybe the protein. I don't know. Maybe
jelly. How would you make jelly out of moss?
They make art out of it.
I don't know.
They make art. They do. They make art out of it. There was a woman that you come by and buy all the moss out of your tree. She'd take and get it all out of the tree and take it, and then she'd go and clean it deodorize it and get rid of all the bugs. And she made art with it.
Mhm.
Well,
And sold for big money.
this guy said they're making jelly.
If you're going to make bedding out of something, find a cedar tree and use some of the cedar branches.
Yeah,
cedar's a
any
natural
bugs.
insect repellent.
There won't be any bugs anyway.
Yeah. Cedar is a natural insect repellent.
Yeah.
Jelly. I've
My
never heard
bird-
of moss jelly. I'm
Me
sorry.
either. That's a new
My-
one on me.
You're talking about your first experience with horror.
Mhm.
My first experience, give you away my age. I was like 57 or 58. The original 13 Ghosts.
Oh,
At-
original
I have not
remake.
seen the original. I've seen the remake. The remake was good.
Yeah,
That had
this
a
was
remake.
the
Yeah.
original in 3D at a drive-in.
I used to work at a drive-in theater in the
Oh
80s.
God, we used to sneak into it.
Hell, we still got a drive-in here in Bellevue, Florida.
Yeah,
That would be
Ocala.
awesome. I haven't been to a
Still got one
drive-in in years.
It's Ocala. It got 2 screens.
There was
No,
one.
Ocala, yeah.
There was one in here in Springfield, and it closed down. 20 years ago, more. Annette and I had just gotten married. We got married in '93, and I think it was closed until shortly after our oldest was born.
Good night, Patty. I'm sorry. Good night, Patty. Good night, hon.
Good night, Patty.
Thank you for the show.
Good night, Pat.
Thank you for joining the show.
But I think the drive-in theater here in town was open until right around the time my oldest son was born. And Annette and I used to go watch movies at the drive-in just because it was a hoot. And then the one in Lebanon closed. Oh God, it must have closed somewhere around 1988, 1989. But in '84 through about '86, I worked at the movie theater in town, and on the weekends I'd work out at the drive-in because the same guy owned both.
Yeah, this
and
thing's still
both of them
going
are gone
strong.
now. The old theater's been long since torn down.
Not this one.
There was another drive-in here in Missouri, in Aurora, Missouri, which is about 30, 40 miles away. And last I heard, it's up for sale. They're closing it down unless somebody buys it. But,
Well, they just revamped this drive-in about 5 years ago?
Yeah, about
4 years
4 or
ago?
5. Yeah.
well,
they
if
put all the
we can get down there, I
HD
definitely
cameras
going
in.
to see some movies at
Oh
it.
yeah, all HD cameras. All the screens are brand new. In fact, me and my uncle went. We went to go see Deadpool 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Me and him, and we watched it there. And,
Me and some buddies of mine would go to the drive-in outside of Lebanon, and we'd take a little hibachi, and we'd bring a cooler
yeah.
full of hamburger patties and stuff. We just
Yeah.
sit out there watching the movie and grill burgers and hot dogs.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had one in upstate New York like that too. It was big. It was same thing. Even when I moved here, I couldn't believe they had a drive-in. I was like, wow, still going strong to this day. You'll drive by it, it'll be packed on a Friday and Saturday night, man. When you're going down the road, you look over to the left,
Oh yeah.
and you'll see the movies going. The cars just lined up.
We can get moved down there. I'm telling you, I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to go watch some movies at that.
Yeah,
That is
it
just
brings
too
back
cool
good
not to do.
memories. No, it brings back good memories, man.
Heck yeah.
Growing up,
You stay out of the back seat, DA.
Yeah, don't go in the back seat.
Yeah, those days are long past.
Yeah,
If I suggested it, my wife's just going to roll my eyes and tell me to shut up and eat my popcorn.
yeah. Good night, Renee. Good night, honey.
Good night,
Thank you for
Renee.
joining us tonight. Thank you. Oh boy, what is
Well,
it?
we are
11?
coming up on. Well, actually, we're just past the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
2
hours and 8 minutes.
Yeah, I want to give another quick shout out to Carrie Pock and Doc Davis. You guys are the praying sword, or you want to send smoke his direction, or good feelings or whatever. Just say a prayer for Carrie. He's been pretty sick. He's still not feeling well. He wanted to join us tonight, but he said he just wasn't feeling up to it. I'm going to call him tomorrow if he's feeling better. I was just texting him just a little bit ago. So got to keep him in mind. And this old ornery rascal down here below me over here, keep him in mind too.
John.
You want to keep him around.
I was wondering why I didn't hear from
With or
Doc
without
the
the
other
wig.
day. I texted him the other day for Father's Day. He did text me back. I was wondering, what was going on. I asked him how he was feeling. So I guess obviously he still feels like garbage. So
Yeah, he was still
Is it-
feeling like warmed over death.
is it COVID? Is
I
it
don't
the
know. He
COVID
didn't
or-
say. I didn't ask, and he didn't say. He just said he's sick. Let me put this up real quick. Here's my email address, daroberts@daroberts.net. Or you can send me actual mail at P.O. Box 4614, Springfield, Missouri, 65808-4614. Leave that up there for a second. But I'd love to hear you guys' comments, either about the books, about the show, and your thoughts on us going to just one show a week. I know we had some comments in there. But
I wasn't here. What did they say?
They understood the logic behind it. It was pretty supportive. But again, it's not something I necessarily want to do, but I need to concentrate on things that are
right. You got to make money, man. Right. You got to make money. I mean, the show, believe me, people, I wish, really, indeed, we've talked about it.
If I could afford it, I'd do a show every night.
Right. I mean, we'd be on all the time. I mean, we just don't have the backing. We don't have the structure, the money. It takes, it's, believe me, the guests that I get, you guys have no idea. When I hunt down a guest, it's not just, they text me right away. John will tell you what I go through.
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of hours that go into prepping for shows.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk to them and feel them out. I don't want to get stuck with anybody that that's wants to make fun of the topic. That's not what we're here for. We're not making fun of the topic. We're talking about the topic. So, and that's what I mean. I want to make sure everything's on the up and up. But it does take time. It takes time. It takes a lot of on the phone texting, talking. That's how I met Jesus. I reached out to him. It took him a long time to get back with me.
Now that we've made the contact, I'm going to be working with Jesus on some screenplays and the novelization versions of a couple of stories. And there's some projects that him and I are going to work with that you may actually see on the big screen.
Hopefully, God willing, yes.
Yeah,
that'd
keep
be
my
awesome.
fingers crossed. But we got a lot of stuff coming in the very near future. Yeah, John, definitely keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah,
That took a while.
Yeah, me too.
Even with the research people, research, you see all these people going out with doing research and stuff. They have the backing or they have the money. That's awesome. Me and DA just don't have it.
Right.
We got stuff going. We have families. We got other stuff going on and stuff like that. But it's hard to get out there. And I know I could get good evidence out there.
Oh yeah,
I know I can.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of places here I know I could get stuff too. I just don't have necessarily the equipment or the mobility that I once did.
Yeah.
Right. And I know it just takes the good equipment to get out there and do it. And that's the whole thing. But yeah, it'll happen. It will happen. And I'll get some good content out for you people. And hopefully do a documentary once we get the equipment, maybe twice a year. Hopefully. That'll be awesome to get it out there.
That would work.
Trish, what did she? Yeah. She's like, I want to see movies of yours work. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to put it out there.
We've got some things in the work. We want to do some documentaries and things like that. Yeah, I want to see the stuff, my books on the big screen too. And hopefully with Jesus's contacts that we might be able to make that happen in sometime in the not so distant future.
Yeah.
I would love to see him on the big screen or Netflix or something like that. And I think, man, this is just me thinking, if they wanted to do like a Codename Wild Hunt series, I think they could take book 1 and each chapter could be an episode in the season. And then book 2, another chapter. And I could stay ahead of them with books pretty easily.
Well, that's what we talked about. That's what we were talking about. And that's what you and Jesus were talking about. And then his movie screenplay that he wants to do.
Mm-hmm. I've actually got a couple of screenplays I'll be working with him on.
Right. So he's got some ideas he's helping DA out with. And I hate to say it, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But that's the whole thing.
The truth.
DA's got the knowledge with the writing and the cryptid and everything in their books. Everything in his books on the up and up, even the weapon systems.
He's got the creativity, yeah.
Right.
That's true.
And then Jesus comes into the picture, and he's got the backing from his, TV and movie debut stuff Yeah, West Coast dog. I'd love to see. Yeah, I would love to see it to go to Netflix. That would be awesome. Either
That would be pretty freaking cool.
or Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
So if anybody knows anybody, it's an executive
HBO.
for Amazon Prime or any of these big things, reach out to DA, please. That'd be
Plus
awesome
seeing
to get
Gray
that.
Eagle shifting into wolf form, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
Done right.
Look at some of the stuff on Amazon that's cheesy. I mean, even on Netflix, and it's like what everybody says.
Fillers.
They're all fillers.
They're all fillers. They just put them in to fill time slots.
So, it could be done. You just got to get your foot in the door and get it out there. And that's what he's going to do. And that's what Jesus is going to help him with. And hopefully, knock on wood, we'll get it done. See what happens.
See, we'll see what we can get accomplished. And I've said this before. Together we can accomplish anything.
Mm-hmm.
And all you out there pulling for us, and Anthony's a whiz at making contacts. I think together we can go a lot of places.
Just keep moving forward.
That's it. That's it.
Had a few setbacks this month, but nothing we're not overcoming slowly.
You're still moving forward.
As they say, as the old saying goes, any day I wake up above the dirt, it's got to be a good one.
Yep, absolutely. When you're on the right side of the grass,
that's it.
Folks, I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. Stories are journeys that we take together, and I've been very, very blessed to have a lot of amazing people take this journey with me. I've met people that I never would have met. I mean, I met Jesus because of the books. I met Anthony because of the books. I met Doc because of the books. I met John. I've made some amazing new friends along this journey, and we're 10 years in. This is the 10-year anniversary of the release of the first Ragnarok book that started it all. 25 books in, getting ready to release 26, and I know there are a lot more books to come. So again, guys, reach out to me at daroberts@daroberts.net. Send me a message on Facebook. Send me a postcard. Let me know what you guys think about the idea of us going to one show a week. I'd love to hear your input on that, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about the books. If you're not a member of the Patreon community, you guys definitely check that out. The Patreon does help out a lot, although it's kind of dwindled in the last month or so. I haven't really had the time to dedicate to it, and I used to have a lot of help with it. I used to have a few people that were helping with it, and I lost that, and it's now just me. So is what it is. Mea culpa. I'm sorry. I've got so many irons in the fire. When you lose a couple of people that were very big and helpful in taking care of stuff like that, it's pretty tremendous. There's just not enough hours in the day for me to do everything that needs to be done.
And no one's getting paid. And that's the whole thing. No one's getting paid.
I need to spend as much time on the writing as at all possible.
Right.
That's the bread and butter at the moment. But again, I hate cutting the show back to one show a week. I really do. I thoroughly enjoy this. I have a great time doing it. And I hate to do it, but it's just one of those things where I've got to put my focus where it's going to help the most. So appreciate each and every one of you guys. We had a couple of super chats tonight. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's going to help.
I really appreciate that. You have no idea how much that helps. And it's been a journey. It's been a long journey. It's been a lot of work getting us here. And when I first started out with the first book, I read a book on book marketing and how to present yourself as an author, how to brand yourself, make yourself a brand name. And they said you would eventually reach what's called a tipping point. And they likened it to rolling a big rock up a hill. And the hill, the size of the hill was very different for every person. Some people write one book and boom, they take off. But my hill's been a lot higher. But I'm so close to that tipping point that I can smell it. at that point, at the point where the rock takes off on its own momentum.
Oh yeah.
And it just builds from there. But we're really close. I think we're very close to seeing something really take off. So
I mean, the
I want to play a
show
commercial
builds,
for the books real quick
Okay.
to kind of remind everybody what it's all about, and we'll probably start wrapping things up. And here's the commercial. So I hope you guys like it. It was done by Naoma over at Naoma Finn.
From the mind of author D.A. Roberts. Cryptids. Lakeview Man. Apex Predator. Codename Wild Hunt. Zombies. The Ragnarok Rising Saga. Science fiction and fantasy. Lost Legion. Find them all at daroberts.net or amazon.com.
And that's the commercial. I put that on Facebook a couple of times. I'm going to try to get it up on Twitter. But, that's what it's all about, folks. I love doing the cryptid shows. Cryptids are my passion. I've got a lot of books planned. Not all of them are going to be cryptid related, but most of them will be. So look for release information very soon for Apex Predator Dark Moon. And hopefully I'll be having other release information of other books right on the heels of that. We've got a lot of stuff going, and I hope you guys will stick around and enjoy the ride, because there's a lot that we're going to be doing in the near future.
Well, we'll be here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, John. Thank you, sir.
Everybody have
had
a
a great
good
time
night.
tonight. Yeah, I had a great time tonight. Anthony, thanks, brother, for making this possible. We would have just been us staring at a blank screen if it hadn't been for Jesus, because we lost our guest. But it is what it is. When Barton gets his computer fixed, we'll get him back on. Thank everybody for being here tonight. Jesus, if you're listening, brother, thank you for being part of the show tonight.
Yes, man. Thank you.
Wish you nothing but the best, brother, and prayers are with you. Doc, if you're listening, we got prayers going your way, brother. Hope you get to feeling better. And we will see you guys on Saturday when we I haven't had the show set up yet, but it's going to be a good night. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and we're going to get out of here. And again, thank you guys for being part of the journey. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best. We love you guys, and we will see you guys on Saturday night. Good night, everybody.
Sayonara.
Thank you for joining us. Catch us again Wednesdays and Saturdays on DAX Machina. A special thanks to all our channel members and Patreon supporters. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe.